what afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time of day you're watching us, or when you're watching us. Welcome to episode 40 of the Aim Down Sights podcast. We have Soul hopefully working this week, and don't choke on it. Don't choke on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
pause. Hey, pause. Wow. Is that what we are doing today?
I don't know what we're doing
Wow.
today, to be honest. We're a little bit later than we wanted to be, so that's all right. That's okay. But we have Nero, who sends his apologies and his love. He did put a comment in the chat earlier. He's just in a lot of pain, and we were like, just don't show up for the show. Look after yourself. So send him some love. He's probably got a sore back because of all the grifting he's been doing. You know, whiplash back and forth, all of that stuff. Yeah. All the pony body.
You know, getting on and off that pony, boy, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, one of the ponies finally bucked him off and he hurt his back.
Oh my god!
I love you, Nero. I love you. Yeah. I really do. We love you. The chat loves you. Everybody loves you. Yes, I can just imagine what he's saying right now.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
a lot of grifting. Ooh, boy, this is going to be a fun chat tonight. Yes, it is. Oh gosh, we love you, Nero.
It is going to be a good chat. It is going to be a good chat. Well, we're just gonna crack into what we've been up to, and probably not going to talk too much about what game we've specifically been playing until we get to that topic. But how have you been, Soul? We missed you last week. You were there in heart and soul anyway. But yeah, how have you been? I know you're feeling better, so kudos there. But yeah, what have you been up to?
Life. Living, trying to make it. That's what I have been up to. But things are on the upside, you know what I mean? You just try to make it every day, but everything is good. Everything is good. I am not going to complain because nobody want to hear that sugar honey iced tea anyway. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. But how have you been doing? What's going on in your world?
I have been good. I think I went to bed at 4 a.m. last night or this morning. Okay. Playing Avowed. That has been my week. Kind of just waiting to play Avowed. And I did the rookie move when I pre-installed it. I didn't realize that it was installing onto my external hard drive. Lucky the game wasn't available to play yet, and I moved it across to my internal so that I could play it straight away when it went live for early access. But that's what I've been doing. I've been playing early access. You're going to hear our thoughts because we've both been playing early access of Avowed. Maybe some little tips there, but I'm not going to spoil anything. I don't want to spoil anything because it still hasn't gone live for everyone. But
that's right.
It's a good game. I'm really enjoying it.
That's right.
We'll talk about it. We will definitely talk about it. Why is your butt on display? Eyes front. The cat. Yeah. No one needs cat butt in the video.
Hey, I like to look the cat in the eye. You know what I mean?
As we all do.
Oh my god.
Yes, Nero's in the chat. If you go back, if you missed it, Nero, we were doing
what we normally do
for you, or we were. But well, we're going to get into some topics anyway. We've got some quick news. We're just going to really run through the quick news as fast as possible because we really want to get into the main topics, and I really want to just spend a lot of time talking about Avowed. And then we're going to talk about the PlayStation State of Play, and give our thoughts on that and the games that were shown and things that sat with us there. All right. So very quick, I'm just going to add this one. If anyone is a Stalker 2 fan, there was an update which added 1,700 improvements and fixes, balance, location quests, blockers, crashes, performance issues, They've done a whole heap of patching there. So if you tried it day one and you weren't keen on it because of how buggy it was, there are a lot of improvements. So you might want to go back to it now. Dynasty Warriors Origins, they had their demo. What is it? Their demo exceeded 2 million downloads. So well done if you're a Dynasty Warriors fan. And I do want to add a little bit of context to this next one. Valve implemented a new rule banning on Steam games that force players to watch ads. So what they've done there is basically said developers should not utilize paid advertisement as a business model in their games if they're wanting to put them onto Steam, such as requiring gamers to watch or otherwise engage with advertising in order to play their game, or gating gameplay behind advertising. So if your business model relies on that or relies on advertising on other platforms, you have to remove those elements before shipping on Steam. And I think that's fantastic news. And so they're like, options could be switching to a single purchase paid app or free to play with microtransactions or downloadable content. I'm like, yeah, fair enough. What's up, everyone? Before I forget, I'm going to shout out to the whole chat. To each and all of you, we've got J Duke, we've got Tryhard, we've got Lyric, we've got Becca, we've got Lord Roughness, we had Dusty in here before. Every one of you who show up, and everyone watching on Twitter, everyone watching after the show, after the fact, we appreciate each and every one of you. Yeah, our community is fantastic.
It is.
Where was I up to? This is my ADHD going, wait a second, I forgot something. It's been pretty bad for the last 2 weeks. So if I'm a little bit more ADHDing, it's been real bad. It's been real. Even at work, my boss is like, you need to slow down.
Slow it down a little bit.
Yeah. I'm excited. I just really just want to be honest, we're going to do a speed run of the show so we can go back to playing Avowed. I'm kidding.
She's not.
She's really not. Like, this is what we agreed to. Nero's not here to control us this week. No, I'm kidding.
Say, we don't have to hear any of these stable stories. Nothing.
Yeah,
oh
exactly.
My gosh, it's great. It's
great. But Nero, if you're listening, when we get to the PlayStation, but you can pop in there what your rating was, and you can let us know what you thought about it. I really wish you were on the show this week. I do. It would have been great to have you, because I hear knowing that you're excited to pay for all of those games up front. Sorry, Nero. Just throwing some shade.
Oh my gosh, you went there. Better you than me, baby. Better you than me. Yeah, because he will be paying for that.
Yeah.
You will. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Nero. Sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry. Not sorry.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry. I just like to have a laugh. It's just funny.
It's
Comedy. All right. Resident Evil 5 has an ESRB rating for Xbox. So there may be a remaster coming for Resident Evil 5, right? That's my understanding. Have you played the Resident Evil games?
Let me tell you, the last time.
That's a no. I'm kidding.
That is a no. The last Resident Evil game that I played was Code Veronica.
Oh, damn.
Dreamcast.
Yeah. Wow. I've watched the Resident Evil movies, the TV show, anything Resident Evil themed, where I have not played them because I'm a wuss. Everyone knows this. The whole chat knows that I'm a wuss when it comes to that side of things. I don't like jump scares. I really don't. And I really like my controller to stay intact. I need it to survive until the series 3 comes out for the Elite controller.
Yeah.
It,
You know,
even if I have to duct tape it together, I've thrashed the hell out of it.
for whatever reason, the games has just never been appeal. Like visually, they are appealing. I guess I just it's not my bag.
Yeah.
They are great games to look at. I could sit and watch someone play, but yeah, that's really right. Roughness. You know what? I think he knew that it was going to be on positively.
He's like, I've got a sore back. No, I'm kidding.
He's like, hey, for those who know coming to America, you remember when my man was showing him the apartment, and he was like, Stu, you old to I'm tired of that falling down the stairs shit, right? That's Nero's falling down the stairs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. It's all good. You gonna make Nero try to pop in. Hey, if he try to
Yeah,
pop in, don't
he's
let him
gonna
in.
defend himself, man.
Don't let him in. It's all good. We're just having a little fun. We're having a little fun.
Oh, we are
We
having some fun. Thank you, Lord Roughness.
no,
Uncovered the real reason
you
Nero
know
is in
what the
here,
thing is?
state of
He,
play.
he he definitely adds a lot of diversity to the show with the
Oh,
PlayStation influence. And so, we need
I'm
that.
trying not to spit
You
my
know.
drink out. Don't make me laugh.
We need that diversity. You know what I
We
mean?
do.
So,
He
but
legitimizes the show. Hit that like button. Yes, indeed. Thank you,
oh
Nero.
my
Thank
gosh.
you. Yeah, we love you.
Yeah. Oh
Oh,
my
oh.
gosh. Oh, Resident Evil. Yeah, whatever.
We're just
Sorry.
kind of now in this giggly mood.
I have
um,
no idea. I've been needing a good laugh for a while, so
yeah,
I'm here for it.
yeah.
I am here for it.
Moving on from there, Take Two boss expects GTA 6 will cause a meaningful uptake in console sales. Now, I do want to. I think I kind of talked about it. Was it last week, or I may have talked about it actually in a party chat this week sometime. But I still think it's a mistake not launching this day one on PC at the same time as consoles.
Hmm. I would definitely agree. And I think we're really at the point in gaming where not launching on PC, period,
Mm.
is a huge mistake.
Mm.
Just think about what's the game where you shooting the bugs? Nero
Oh,
plays it.
Helldivers 2?
There you go. Just think about all the money that they lost out on because of that situation, right?
Yeah.
And that is a game that should have really been everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Yep. Should have been everywhere.
Everywhere. Because truth be told, I said, oh, I like that. It looks interesting. I
Mm.
would spend some money on it. And then I saw how it was locked down, and I was like, yeah, well,
Well, I mean, I look
not
at this
now.
and I'm thinking, well, you're just gonna buy. People are just gonna buy the game, right? There's gonna be no doubt some version of a GTA Online for it.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's where you're gonna make all your money. Um, yes, you're gonna get some people who will have FOMO and pick up a copy on console, and yes, it's gonna help with console sales.
Mhm.
Um, but console sales don't matter. Software sales matter.
Yep.
And
I
if
bought
you
I
get,
bought 5 3 times.
well, there you go. There you go.
Bought it 3 times.
Yeah, I think that's what they want. I think they want you to buy it on console and then buy it on PC and then buy it wherever else you want to buy it. But I think that's the wrong mindset. They've said they've got data that kind of disputes that and talks a little bit about why they are going with this model.
Right.
I think that they might be in for a little bit of a surprise.
Hmm.
I don't think it's going to do as well as it did last game. But last game, when you look at it, that launched across multiple um, generation. So it came out on the PS3 and the Xbox 360, and then it was re-released as a definitive edition on the Xbox One and PS4.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it didn't launch to PC day one, but it did come to PC. And then they put the GTA Online, and it's been a long time. Even the industry and the way the consumers behave is different from when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Folks
they just
ain't
really
got
want to
no
milk
money.
people. They want to milk people for your dollar.
Well, I mean, hey, look here. Folks don't have money right now.
GTA 6, Lord.
Ain't
GTA
nobody
6.
running out to buy a console for this game. Not the way I think they think it's going to happen. I mean, it's just if you can find $600-700 for a console,
Well,
then but you're tight on your rent. You're tight on your car payment. You're tight on you tight on your eggs. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, if it's the one game you're going to buy, it's the one game you're going to buy, right?
It's the one game you're going to buy. Right?
But my thing here is I still think they're going to be console sales because I doubt they're going to. I mean, it's current gen only, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to be on last gen, and we can see that a lot of people have not moved over from last generation systems. So that would be the upgrade there. You've got the fact that we don't know who the marketing rights are with at this point, and I think that's going to be a massive thing.
Yes.
But not every PC gamer cares about GTA, just like not every console gamer cares about GTA. I mean, it's going to sell like gangbusters, but I still think,
without a doubt,
why don't you let everyone enjoy it at the same time? They're probably just trying to avoid mods for now. Yeah.
Well, it is going to sell off of FOMO.
Yeah,
it is. Top. It is a game that people don't want to miss those water cooler moments.
Yeah.
And I think that goes across generations. When I say generations, I'm talking about from my generation down to, we'll say the youngest generation. I don't even know where we are. I'm Gen X, so I don't know about everybody else, right? So it's going to sell. It is definitely going to sell. They will miss out on some of those folks who don't have this current generation, who are just not in a good position to pick this game up. Now, you mentioned marketing, and I got to thinking about it. Does Microsoft even care to lay it down to get the marketing? Excuse me, I'm stuttering over here.
I mean, if they took COD off the board,
well, I know,
they should
but
take
they bought
GTA.
Yeah,
they
but
should take GTA off the board.
Oh, they could definitely do it
around the marketing piece and make it even Stevens.
Say they could lay it down where it's like, yo, they could, if they wanted beyond 6 months exclusivity for, let's just say they have the resources. Now, would they do it? I don't know. Because
I don't think they need to do
they care enough?
They just need to make sure that when it's marketed, it isn't just PlayStation dominating everything around. Like, this is only on PlayStation. I think they really need to drown out that side of it, because PlayStation has the marketing for the last game.
Yeah.
And I really think that really sold a lot of PlayStations because of the way they marketed it.
So do they market this? Let's just say, they lay that money down, right? And do they market this as the jump in the Game Pass? Do they market it there? Because here's the thing.
They ain't putting it on Game Pass.
They're not going away from content.
They're not.
No. I know that, but they're not going to put it in there because that's too much of a loss. But I guess what I'm saying is, do they even care to get the marketing? Because here's my thing. If it's not going in the Game Pass, they are not going away from consoles, but they're not necessarily.
I guess they need to make sure that
on selling consoles either.
I think they need to make sure that when it is marketed, that there isn't exclusive content just for PlayStation. I think that's how you combat it. So everyone gets the same version day one.
Right.
And then it feels like it's on a more even playing field. Like even Hogwarts Legacy had an exclusive
Mission.
mission in it that you couldn't get on Xbox until a year later. So they held that down with 12-month exclusivity for that. Um, and people chose to buy that version because of that. And I think in order to have that even playing field, you need to remove that incentive. Yes, PlayStation could have the marketing, but that exclusive like content is what needs to be culled in order to kind of have everyone just pick the version that they want on the system that they prefer to play it on.
Mm.
Yeah, but
Well, they
um,
got to come with something. I mean, I'm just thinking about, like, Microsoft, if they are going to do something with
idea.
marketing, they definitely have something that's going to separate it, to get people to pick it up over there. I mean, Web Dave, what's going on, my man? Good to see
What's
you in
up?
the chat. Hit that like button, everyone. So they need to do something. I mean, but I let me see here. I think it was Chris Coleman. He was just saying that consoles sold will spike just at the official date reveal, which is absolutely true.
100%.
So folks in the know will probably pick up a Series S just like they did for um, college football 25.
Yeah,
But I believe they
but
had marketing for that as well, though.
though that they're
You know.
going to repackage this game for next gen as well, because there are some people
Mhm.
who skip a gen before they upgrade, and I feel like they're going to make
Yeah.
sure that they get those people as well. Because there are some people going, I'm not seeing enough of a difference between the Xbox One and PS4 versions of generation, so I'm not upgrading. I'm just going to wait till the next gen. So you're going to run into that as well. I think it's going to sell like gangbusters. Yes, it's going to be upsale in console sales, but my issue is just let it release for the PC market as well at the same
Mm,
time. But they want to
yeah.
wait. They want to make more money.
Oh yeah. Old
Yeah.
Strauss is about that dollar. So, you know, hey, and they have
Um,
the product.
yeah. What's up,
I
Web
mean, when you
Dave?
have, not that I would know, but when you have good product, you know,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
circulation is a
I
lot
mean, the
easier.
game's
You
set
know
in
what I mean?
Florida. I
So,
think that kind of sells itself because, like, to be honest, like living in New Zealand, right? When you hear these crazy news stories that come up, I'm like,
mm,
what country is this in? And I'm always like, I bet it was America. Sorry, that's the reality of the situation. And then you Google it and you're like, yes, it was in the United States. Yes, it was Florida. and
yeah,
so I'm
yeah.
expecting it to be crazy, but also really good at the same time.
Oh
Sorry,
yeah. I mean, if they just give us what they've
only in
shown us
America.
so far, if they
It's
just
not
give
going to
us
run
what
at
they've shown us so
60.
far, it is going to be bananas. I think they are going to just be. This game is going to be so far over the top, but the gameplay is always fun. The gameplay loop is ridiculously fun, and they did some things last game that were new, and
Hmm.
excited to see. I'm excited to see what they do and how they
Yeah.
split this story between the two protagonists. You know, and where they go
Yeah.
from there. If we get a possible third that is in
Hmm.
there somewhere that we just don't know about, so it's going to be really interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
2026, because I don't think it's going to come out this year. So we'll see.
They might wait for sales, but there are people who will pick this up day one on every platform, regardless whether you're PC or not. Um, to try out to point, I'm curious if the PS5 Pro can handle that game at 60 FPS. Not in the fidelity you're expecting. It will definitely be toned down in order to deliver a 60 FPS option. Even if they focus on that, it might even be patched later. I think they really just want
Mm,
an optimized, visually appealing game. So I don't necessarily think you're going to get 60 right out the gate. Um, yeah. All right. So I'm going to add there. Stellar Blade developers Shift Up has posted a record-breaking year financially. Stellar Blade brought in $43 million in royalties, and the PC version is expected to outsell the original PS5 game. So, with this going to PC, are you surprised by that trend? If we look at all the other games that have done the same around attachment rates and people supporting the devs, would you be are you being surprised by the expectation that it's expected to outsell the PS5 version?
Not surprised at all.
Not
I just
surprised
don't
at all.
understand. I know I'm not. I just don't understand why these games aren't releasing on PC as well. It
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense at this point in time. If you're about making money, you need to go ahead and make that money. It is what it is. Console folks are going to buy it on console, and PC folks are going to buy it on PC. Some people will double dip and buy it on PC and console. So, you know, I just don't understand it, man. But I think
Mm,
what happens is sometimes, these um these guys who are making these games, especially if they're kind of new coming into the whole gaming realm, their first good game and that bag is out there. And they at the end of the day, they got to pay their people. They got to keep the lights on. And so
yeah.
when that bag gets waved in front of them, and you got to think about it, if Sony's waving this bag at them, and that is the popular console, you start looking at the numbers and you're like, what's a good chance folks will buy this game over here? I just don't know how you could do a deal where you kind of exclude it from PC though. That just doesn't make any sense. And it won't.
Yeah.
It won't make any sense to me until they, stop doing it. But you can see, like these other companies,
I
they
mean,
are foregoing that, and I think a lot of folks are going to follow suit. It's just going to be the bigger ones like the Square Enix, whomever, they're leaving that behind, but
yeah.
these smaller teams, what's the name of the team that developed Black Myth? Um, Gosh dog it, it's on the tip of my tongue.
It's gone
But
from me. Don't worry. I can't
yeah,
think of any other.
but they're going to take that bag, and I
Yeah.
and I understand, and
Hmm.
I get it, but I
Hmm.
tell you what, I guarantee you that the team behind Helldivers, I know they're just shaking their head like, why did you take that bag? So we'll see how it goes.
Well, I
They need
mean,
to.
they PC's holding it down for Helldivers
It
2, right?
is. It is.
That's the reason why that game has been so successful.
Mhm.
It's got the longevity. I think that game would have done a fantastic job on Xbox because of the way that the consumer base is already set up to really enjoy those
Mhm.
co-op experiences. So I think it would have done fantastic there. Um, PlayStation did a good job
Mhm.
for the most part, but still couldn't touch anything on what PC did supporting Helldivers 2. PlayStation shot themselves in the foot with what they did with the PSN requirement, and I'm glad that they're walking all of that back.
Yeah.
Um, but I think Stellar Blade would have been so much more successful launching day one at the same time
Mhm.
as PC. But I definitely understand what PlayStation was doing because that has been their strategy and their playbook for the better part of 20 years, right? Locking things down for exclusivity. And
Mhm.
in the past, their consumers have
Mhm.
rallied around that and bought games on PlayStation, but it's not happening like it was. The attachment rate for software for video games hasn't actually, yes, it's doing better than they've ever done before, but like you've got 75 million consoles shipped on PlayStation, but your games that are
Mhm.
there aren't selling to the equivalent of how many consoles you actually have sold versus shipped versus whatever you want to talk about in that space. Yeah, so for me, I think it was kind of, it may have helped the developers to begin with, being able to focus on one game and deliver that, and then spend some time delivering a PC port um, around the optimization and just having the extra money to build up their dev team, etc., etc. But we're at a point where these developers, they just can't survive off one platform's income anymore. They have to diversify that, and so I'm glad it's coming to PC. And I do expect that I do think it'll outsell the PlayStation 5 game. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering, is there a way to get the
Very
numbers of
healthy
who's
numbers
actually
there.
playing that game on PlayStation? I
Oh, for
see
which game? Helldivers 2?
Helldivers. Yeah, I
No,
see Tryhard
not that I'm
has.
aware of.
It says that we have over 76,000 people playing it right now on Steam, and those are great.
Very healthy. Those are great
Yeah, very
numbers.
very healthy. But hmm, well,
But
I
Alan Wake 2, if we be honest, Alan Wake 2 they had a exclusivity deal with Epic. So the game wasn't available on Steam. And so when you look at the attachment rate there are people who are on Steam who just don't want to pick up a game on Epic. They want their game library on Steam. And so there's that side of it. But this is like attachment rate for every company isn't where you'd expect, except for Nintendo.
I'm gonna say
Nintendo's
Nintendo.
fucking Nintendo's doing its own, like, own fucking thing. I do understand. Like I
That's
go and
what made me
buy
pause. I'm like,
I
Nintendo
buy
attachment
very
rate is.
specific games on Nintendo, and it is literally just Mario and Zelda.
You
That's
know
like all
what?
I buy.
I was thinking the same thing today. I said, for years, I've picked up the Nintendo, whichever one is coming out, strictly for two games. Two games.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Zelda is always one of them.
always one of them.
And depending on the year, it's usually Metroid.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
See,
Metroid's
I'm a huge
game.
Metroid fan.
I
Huge
always pick
Metroid
up
fan.
Mario Kart. Like I love Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I really want a Diddy Kong Racing too.
Hmm.
I really want that, but I don't think we're going to see it anytime soon. Yeah. PC never sells to the equivalent available PCs either. You are correct. It doesn't, but there are more games available on PC than there are on console. So I feel like, and they wait for their sales. They wait for sales like a mofo.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to get that everywhere. Not everyone just buys a couple of games here and there. But we're not seeing the numbers that we have seen in the past, is what I'm saying, around based on the amount of people who bought it versus how many people own a console. Just you would expect these bigger numbers.
Right.
Okay. Very quickly, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. If you have been playing that, there is a new update available. New game plus, photo mode, ability to hide projectile weapons, adjustment and bug fixes. Yeah. So if you want to go and try that and you haven't tried it yet, go for it. Max Payne 1 and 2 Remake is making steady progress. So another quick news. It's in full production as they head towards key objectives with the publisher Rockstar Games. And Crytek, this is kind of sad. I love Crytek, is laying off 15% of its staff to stay financially sustainable. Yeah, and Crisis 4 has been put on hold. So that's concerning when you start seeing that. Like that, the industry isn't entirely healthy with what we're seeing. Yeah. Very sad. That's us on quick news side of things. Yeah. We're gonna crack into some main topics, but before we do, I just want to say a quick shout out to everyone. Hit that like button if you're enjoying the show. If you want to just remind Nero that he's a ponybot or a grifter, also just hit that like button for that reason. And we're gonna crack into a couple of things. I'm just trying to see if I can get something up for Avowed rather than just seeing us. But yeah, where is it? So Avowed released in early access, what is it? I feel like 2 days ago. Has it been 2 days already? I've been playing the game for like 25 hours. I have 25 hours in the game.
What was it, Tuesday? It was Tuesday, right?
No. That's next week. Next week, Tuesday, is when it launches for everyone.
My days are all jacked up.
Yeah. But it's Avowed has a Metacritic score of 80. and a 79 on PC. So on console, it's 80 and a 79 on PC. Um, we're just going to give our sort of early impressions on that. I'm going to throw to Soul first. Um, what has been the things that sort of stood out for you, or your takeaways for the game Avowed? I'm trying to get something in the background, so just give me.
Avowed, avowed, avowed. I have been enjoying Avowed. Um, I have no idea what that. Let me before I get into it. I've been trying to figure out what the hell that is over Kai's um, little head here. You know, he's got his little symbol, but then there's like an exclamation mark, and I haven't been able to figure out what the hell that is. Panda,
Camp.
you're muted. What?
You can't hear me?
Nah, I could hear. I can hear you now.
Oh no, it means you have to talk to him in camp.
In camp. Okay. And see, I
If you
talked to
want
him
pro
once in
tips
camp.
about the game, just ask me. I've been playing for like
I
25 hours.
talked to him once in camp, you know, and I can't remember what the hell he was talking about. I was like, yeah. Hurry up, hurry up. And so I've been trying to figure out what that is. So I run over, try to talk to him, and he's not saying anything. And I'm like, yo, dude, you know, we got to figure that out. So I thank you, Panda, because I have no idea. So here's the thing. Avowed has been dope for me so far. I really, really like it. I am getting my House Ravenclaw on. Um, I'm trying to tell you, I'm zapping everything moving, and the fact that they're almost like little homing missiles, you know, I absolutely love it. Um,
Are you dual wielding wands?
but you know, I'm not. I saw before.
Oh,
Before, hold on, wait a minute. I started to do it. I was gonna do it right, but I'm not gonna lie. At first, I didn't want to run around with a book in my hand, that grimoire, right? But I'm used to it now as far as the animation and what it looks like. Um, it is, first of all, the sound is really, really good. Playing with headphones, right? Sound has been really good. The music has been
what's up,
great
Max?
as well. Yeah, great is the music has been great as well. Kind of doing this little bot thing here. Um, the I had to get used to how the character moved, and when you kind of first come on the scene and you kind of first start your combat, it felt a little like I was like, man, it needs a little oomph. But soon as you start getting those abilities and you find a good weapon or two, and you find um as soon as it takes off, the combat gets so much better, and it's quickly how fast. I was like, I don't know, the combat and then next thing you know, I was like, oh shit, the combat is sweet. I'm rolling and flowing. And I'll
Punchy.
tell you what, I said I was going to play about in third person. I'm probably playing 50-50.
What?
I'm
I
probably
agree.
50-50.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Combat's
I'm probably
designed for
50
first
50.
party, right? First person. Like
You know
depending on
what?
what the combat
It is
is,
definitely
like
designed for damn it, it's designed for first person. You can really tell. And it's not that third person is an afterthought. Not at all. But it is just so much smoother, you know, in
hi,
first
Red
person than
Wolf.
it is in third person. You know what I mean? And let me get back to what I was gonna finish saying. The colors are great, the sound is great.
Great,
The
great, and space.
world, I'm really into the world. I am one of those, I'm looking under every rock, I'm looking under every tree, I'm looking for everything. I'm listening for the different I've noticed that the
You
different
listen for
chests
that.
have different sounds. So I'm listening for everything. And it's the game for
Oh,
me right now. The game is definitely delivering. I'm glad that I went ahead and did the early access.
I do not
Um,
regret that. Everyone's like, "You spent this money." I'm like, "I didn't pay for the base game. I got it through
I'm
Game
like, it was
Pass. Like,
$22.
I
I
just
mean,
paid to play it early because I don't want to wait."
no, I didn't want to wait. I had a little bit of FOMO, right? and I'm glad that I did. It's been really good. I'm really digging everything. I'm trying not to give anything away, so it's kind of hard to not get into some
To talk
details,
about things without
to talk
telling
about
people
certain
things,
things
yeah.
without telling. Yeah, like, oh, I was over here and then I found this.
Well,
But I
there's a area in the game that you go into, and I was like, and I haven't posted this image in any of the chats other than our chat that you and I are in with Nero.
right, right,
Image I posted it in today, where
yes.
it just reminded me of like when you watch the Goonies and they go into
Mm,
that open cavern type thing,
mm,
like I got this Goonies feeling, and I was like, yeah, I haven't had that
yeah.
feeling in a while in a game where you're just like, damn, this is beautiful, and wow, like the world building, the level of detail and care
Mm-hmm.
in the
Mm-hmm.
game.
Mm-hmm.
Even the accessibility stuff is quite prominent and very obvious that they've thought a lot about a few things. There are some things that I would change slightly, definitely, but I'm enjoying it. I'm playing in balanced mode, so I'm playing with the 40 FPS option because I wanted the pretty water. I
Okay.
my frame rate with VRR, and so I'm getting 40 FPS up. I can't you could play at 60, but I just wanted a little bit of a mix between really pretty and better frame rate.
Okay.
60 is great. If you want to play it in 60, I highly recommend that. If you want to have a nosy what it looks like in quality, go have a nosy what it looks like in quality. I'm actually really impressed so far with some of the story beats around the
Mm-hmm.
storytelling. There is some reading involved.
Oh my hold on,
I was
guys,
like,
stop.
could you just maybe just play the thing? I'm like, I've done so much reading and I'm like, but
Panda, let me let
some
me
of the,
let me tell
yeah.
you. Let me tell you. I'm so sorry. Let me tell you something. I said, now damn it, if I go to sleep one more time and this some and I'm in my best stone cold, and if this some bitch starts talking to me again while I'm trying to get some shut eye, I'm gonna throw this damn controller.
I know
You
who
know what
you're
I'm saying?
talking
And I'm
about.
sitting
I
here
know what you're
like,
talking about. Yeah.
I'm like,
Um,
can I have some peace? Please. I'm trying to sleep. You
I
know, it's already tough enough. I'm laid out on the rock looking like out anyway. You know what I mean? I'm like, can I just get some rest?
you look like you're about to be ritual sacrifice.
Yo,
Um,
yo,
can I
you know
just
what I mean? And I'm sitting
yeah.
here like, come on now.
Can I just say, like, the parkour, the verticality, the level of exploration, the fact that you can just almost jump and climb on almost anything that you want to jump and climb on that you need to. I wasn't expecting it to feel so fluid. I wasn't expecting
Right,
the combat because we saw the combat right from the gameplay, and I was like, obviously, it's better when you're in there.
right,
I have chosen to play the game on hard. And you don't have to. It is a lot harder on hard, um, especially around how aggressive the enemies are and how they come at you and how much they
mm-hmm,
come at you.
mm-hmm,
So I chose to play it on
mm.
hard because and this is my first playthrough. I generally don't. I usually go like normal, get the story beat, then decide to replay. And I was like, you know what? I've played so many RPGs that I'm just gonna go and run it in hard, get my ass handed to me, and just learn by just dying. I didn't die a lot to begin with. I now like overthink like my skills are better than they should be, and then I get into situations where I regret afterwards. um, but I I'm so loving it. I thought that just the seamlessness between what you're seeing above ground versus going into the water, and like sometimes water swimming mechanics in video games aren't fun, aren't intuitive, aren't easy. This is just very seamless going from land to water and back to land again. I did notice there was just lots of things that were very fluid in the gameplay
Yeah,
around that. And I've been calling Kai Garrus the whole time because he will forever be Garrus to me. But I think someone said in the chat it's a bit like Mass Effect in a way, and I think it is definitely a little bit like Mass Effect around the companions. Um, there's some choices that I'm like, I don't know if I'm comfortable making this choice, but we will see. I'm trying to play play good. I think I'm gonna run through a second playthrough and just be like, "Fuck it, let the world burn." I'm gonna see what happens because like all the different things that you like make dialogue choices.
Mm-hmm.
Um, even like, and I don't want to say anything because like no spoilers, no spoilers. Um, there are just some things where I'm like, I really want to know how this plays out if I was to do it a completely different way.
Yeah.
Um, and I think when you've got a game like that where you're thinking, how would this play different if I did this again? That is a sign of a really good RPG. That is why I
Right.
went through and played Mass Effect multiple times. Like just making different choices and wanting to see what happens. It's why I played Fable multiple times because you wanted to
Mm.
see how impactful your choices are. Um, yeah. I would say like switching to third person and first person. If you didn't know, if you missed my tweet, literally pressing in your right joystick will switch between it. People were moaning about having to go to the menu to do that. You don't need to go to the menu to do
Yeah.
that. Um, I love the fact that transmogging is available right out the gate. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
fantastic. And
Yep.
then you get to choose how you want to equip your weapons to the left or right hand. So you can dual wield wands right away as soon as you have two wands. Um, and and there's no like classes, which I like. So you're not really thrown into you're stuck picking this
Right.
avenue. It's really you can choose how you want to develop your character. And so
Your character. Yeah.
I think they've done a really, really good job with in the Pillars of Eternity world where you, as an RPG fan, get to play a game and role play a game and design your gameplay loop around how you want to play. And not every game does like executes that well. And I'm 25 hours in, so there's still plenty more to do. So you've got the first bit, and then you get to the main map, and in the first section, and I've just left that first main map, and I've gone into the next bit. And so literally just landed there, and then I had to turn it off, and I haven't been on since. And I'm like,
Right.
I want to
Hey,
play some more.
some more. Yeah. Yeah. I'm over here like watching the clock. Like, yeah, when I get done,
Like,
I'm
how
gonna
much
go.
longer do we
Grab
have on the
something
show?
to eat. I'll grab
Uh,
something to eat. I'm gonna, run, grab this margarita,
yeah,
and because I don't have
exactly.
anything to make one
Um,
right
yeah,
now, and then get real nice and chill. Let me ask you this, because I can sit here and talk
yeah, we
about
could talk.
the
Yeah, we
rest of
could,
the
we
night. To
could.
be perfectly honest, right? So I've found one
Yes, we are playing on
unique
Xbox. Yeah,
weapon. Yeah, Xbox. I found one unique weapon, and I'm digging it. I literally picked it up right
I have
before.
about 10
Mo-
now.
God dog
You're
it,
gonna
man.
get a
So
lot.
see, that's
You're gonna get a
yeah,
lot.
yeah, yeah. You know what? I'm a little jelly right now, but I do have like two I think full unique sets of
Mm.
armor or whatnot, and they're okay. They look nice though. I do like the look of them and what they do. They're okay. Um and I like so it's an is it it's not a spoiler to tell the unique weapon. I'm not gonna see where I got it from. I can't even remember, to be
Well,
honest,
is
in
it
the
a sword? Is
location.
it a pistol? Is it a
It's
wand? Is
actually
it
an axe.
shield? Oh, you
It's
got an
actually
axe?
an axe.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah. I got an axe. And it makes things frosty.
Mm,
Yeah. And
interesting.
so yeah, yeah, yeah. And so I upgraded my little grimoire because I found an upgraded book.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like, and then but I couldn't do anything with it because I hadn't leveled up. So
Yeah.
once it leveled up, I'm like, man, let me see what this is about. So I like the level up, but where the first set of spells are quicker from the jump, like you can get them off, wow, wow, wow. And these are more like,
Yeah, there's a lot more build
and I'm
up into
like,
it.
yo, I don't have time for all that cute shit, man. Hey, I need you. Let's knock them down, baby. Let's go. Let's go. But I will say this though. I'm putting probably way too many points in the dexterity right now for the attack
Oh,
speed.
for the stamina?
Well, Yeah, and the
and the
attack speed
speed. Yeah.
and the speed. Yeah, you know
Yes.
what I mean. And
Um,
so I'm over here like, getting my Kendrick on, wop 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 wop. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I'm like,
So
and then I'm like
yeah, so
breathing like a fucking psycho because I've run out of stamina.
because and I'm sitting over here like this, and it always happens at the time where Kai is down. He's like, I'm down. Kai is funny in his dialogue. And I don't want to get too much into his dialogue, but he's funny in his dialogue. But I like how he tells you, he's like, yo, um, your armor ain't good enough right now.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
really not good. You might want to back up because you about to get blazed. And so I'm sitting here like, dude, I ain't got time. We got to take him out. Let's go, Kai. So I'm
Well,
I'm 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 getting into it. I'm really digging it.
the visual and audio cues, like I know they talked about it in the some of the interviews before the game released around like you'll know that your weapon isn't powerful enough by hearing the specific sound when it hits an enemy. And I was like running into enemies, I'm like, fuck. Because you're just like hearing that
Well,
sound, you're like, oh, I'm not doing enough damage. I'm not doing enough damage. But I'm playing on hard, so it's like you run into that a lot. Like the
let me
single
just tell
skull
you
or the
this.
double skull or the triple skull characters are
Yo, I've
everywhere in
run
hard.
into the singles and the doubles, and I'm over here like I thought I upgraded my armor enough. Clearly, that ain't. I got wand
Nope.
mastery at least one. That ain't working. I've upgraded my grimoire. That ain't working. I've done my wand. I haven't found a nice wand yet. Just some basic. I'm like, yo, so I got to put a lot of shots into these cats right now, and I'm sitting over here like, yo, this. Come on, man. I'm going backwards. I like to run forward. I don't like to
Yeah,
run
yeah,
from the
yeah.
fight. I like to run
I'm
to the
like
fight.
dodge, dodge, dodge.
Man,
Dodging
but you know what?
every fucking second.
But I will say that I like the dodge mechanic. It kind
I
of
think
gives
they
you
did
that
a good
nice little
job.
drift. And if you get it right, the backwards one is nice as well because you
The
can
backwards one is
backwards
nice,
in.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm so excited about, and I'll tell you, this is how I was excited for Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones had me like, yo, we can do that too. Oh, yo. And it was really good. And I'm excited for about
Some
I'm
of
ready to
the
go.
traversal things, I was like, why can't I
Yeah.
reach this? And I didn't realize why I couldn't reach it. But there's something that you can do to allow you to jump further. And I'm not going to say anything because it's like they show you this mechanic at one point in the game, but I don't want to spoil any
Well,
traversal
you must
mechanicy
be a
stuff.
little further, definitely further, because I haven't seen that mechanic. 'Cause when
Um,
he jumps, he kind of jumps like
mm,
Spider-Man.
yeah. Um, like it's not going to extend your jump in the sense like a double jump or anything, but it's just going to mean that you have an ability to travel to areas that you didn't think you were able to travel to before. We can always talk after the show Soul if you really want to know.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil things, but I
Mm-mm.
will give a tip to those people. So when you're exploring, you will come across these totems or totem
Okay.
fragments. And what's really important with these totem fragments, once you get the core, go back to your camp and attach the fragments to your totem. So there's like
Okay,
there's
because
like
I
a
just
there's
got like a little totem.
blocks, and there's like 4 different things because I think we can go to 4 different locations in game, so I think you can get a
Okay.
totem in each area from
Okay.
what I
Okay.
assume. But every
Okay.
time you attach one of these fragments to your totem, it unlocks an ability. Like,
Mm.
one of them is you get a +2 to uh, intelligence and a +2 to resolve right out the gate.
Okay.
Some of them are like when you heal up someone, you get additional damage after you revive one of your companions, and so
Mm.
there's, I guess, buffs. So you can call them buffs, right?
Okay.
And so highly recommend doing that because there's about 6 in in that first map that you will go and collect. And I'm not going to spoil much more than that, but it is something that I do recommend once you get the core for the totems and you start collecting bit by bit. Don't wait till you've got all the totems and collect
Just
them
go ahead and
all
start.
before you start using them.
Okay.
Just use them, go back to camp, start using them immediately because they will give you buffs and benefits. Yeah.
So I was running around collecting stuff, and I'm like, just tell you how I've just been into it and not paying attention. I'm running around collecting all this stuff. I'm like, damn it, I got to go back to camp so I can break this crap down or stash this stuff. Damn it, didn't realize there's a whole X button
Oh, to hold
that
to
you just go
dismantle
ahead
shit?
and hold. It'll break down the items,
I
or if you
didn't
just
realize
hit
it
X
took me
while
fucking
you're in
forever.
inventory. Yeah, it'll dismantle it right there, or you just
Like,
hit X
you
or
can
or
send
or or hit X just to put it in the stash.
yeah, you can send everything to stash. I like the fact that what I don't like is the fact that you have to, in order to upgrade your
Oh, there we go.
gear, you have to go to camp. I think you should be able to upgrade your gear
Yeah.
at any blacksmith or
Yeah.
vendor or anything like that. But I do like the fact that when you do go to upgrade your gear and you're wanting to break things down to get more crafting materials, that you don't have to go to your stash to do
Okay.
anything. You can just like switch it to stash and then start destroying the things in your stash in that same screen, and then you can go back to upgrading your gear. So I feel like they've done quite a few quality of life things in there around how do we make it easy without you having to feel like you go here and then you have to walk away and go here. And yeah, honestly though, parkour, the
Yeah.
game's stunning. The treasure maps are also fun. I love exploring, and like there were so many places that I thought I had explored, and then I went back and I was like, I missed this.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, listen.
Mhm.
You want to listen out. Like there's lots of audio cues in this game that are
Mhm.
so beneficial, and
Yeah.
hoard lockpicks. Buy all and any lockpick you
Mm.
can at any merchant. You will need them.
Yeah. There's a couple of, what I wish they had for the map? I wish they had, and please
Wop 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 wop.
tell me if I just missed it. Sorry, roughness. Yeah, hey, yeah, hey, hey, I'm trying to tell you, man. Sometimes you got to pop out and okay, you got to pop out and show them. I wish for the map that they in Panda. Oh my gosh, please, I'm gonna be so embarrassed if I just missed it. There's got to be something that where you can mark
You
locations.
haven't missed it. There isn't.
Shit, because
Nope.
let me tell you
You have to
something.
remember.
Because I'm sitting over here, there was this one purple chest where it had the purple glowy thing, and I'm like, oh, this sounds like it might be something up in there. I'm ready, baby. Because I just stumbled upon it. No lock picks, or I didn't have enough, or something. I don't think it was the picks, but it was something I didn't have enough of. I'm like, what in the hell? But um, I have been trying to hoard those lock picks. Whenever I see it in the inventory, yep, give me everything you got, baby. Give me everything you got. And so that's been it. The game is the game is dope. I know everyone's gonna have their personal opinion about um what it isn't.
What is your initial feeling about it? Around where would you rate it after your early impressions? Like, I want to give it a final rating eventually, but where
Hmm.
I guess I'm kind of sitting at is like an 84, 85.
I was gonna say I'm probably in the solid B range.
A B. Yeah, yeah, I would
Solid
agree.
B, and solid B to B plus range. Um, and it's not like, and that's only because I've only played so much.
Wait, have you only got one
I am
companion yet? Have you got your
thoroughly
second companion yet?
enjoying everything I'm playing.
I've got my second companion. I'm about
No,
to get my
Panda,
third. Um, yeah.
Panda, you naughty girl here. You already have two companions.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
You move fast, baby. You
I
you
do.
move
I mean,
fast.
one was just wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Um,
No, I only have Kai. And are they interchangeable, or you have to run with the new one once you get them, like as part of the
I think,
story, or what?
well, I've only unlocked two, so I'm about to get my third. But you can have two companions on you at a time. Kind of like in Mass Effect, kind of like in the Outer Worlds and all of that. So you can have both with you because you
Okay.
can cause them to use their skills. Um, and so you can use both sets of skills. Um, uh, I think from my understanding, from what I've watched of other people, it is interchangeable. You can choose once you've got more than two. You can choose who you want to go out with. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Now let me ask you this: Does um will their abilities? Does everyone's abilities kind of play off of each other's?
Um, I think if you
Like,
choose how you want to do your upgrade paths, you can
okay,
design them to be
okay,
quite helpful for you. Um, yeah, I've got like
okay.
I've got a lot of options for like I've got the what is it? I've got the vine one for one of my guys, and he's just holding them in place for a certain amount of time so
Yeah,
I can like get my stamina back.
yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
or there's like a kind of jump to that bad guy and like hit them from behind type assassinate type
Okay,
move. And then you've got obviously Kai with his what rifle blunderbuss thing,
yeah,
and so you've got two skills with him. You can get three for each.
okay.
Um, as far as I'm aware, I haven't unlocked his third skill because I'm choosing how I upgrade him, and I've done a very specific thing around the
That has
upgrades
been
for
a
what
slow
I
process
needed.
for me. Yeah,
They will tell you when they're ready to put points in. They'll
right,
always tell you when they're ready. But as soon as you pick up a companion, what I will say is they should have a point or points available to you
right, right,
to put something into the upgrade option
right.
for them. But
So, so, have you found an area that you can kind of farm to get that XP going to get these upgrades to come a little bit,
you
these points to
can't
come a little
XP
faster?
farm.
You can or you
So
can't?
so because enemies do not respawn,
I noticed
um,
that.
and chests do not respawn. So it's basically like once you've opened it, once you've killed someone, that is
Right,
it.
right.
You can move over to the next location and just continue moving through. So there's no option for that.
Mm.
I just got to level 9 um, last night, or this morning technically. And I know that someone who's playing on normal has is like level 5 and they've got like half the playtime as me. But I was watching what Demo Flow defeating the bear. When you defeat the bear, when you know
The
what the
bear.
bear is, you understand.
You kind of
And
you
he
kind of
and
have to run into the bear early. I mean, that's kind of one of the
but
first
he like the way like
quests.
watching his playthrough of it versus my playthrough of it. The bear was much more aggressive for me. I did a lot of dodging, um, and then it wasn't just that. It was like the amount of damage I had to put on. It was a much longer fight scene because of the difficulty difference between normal and hard. And
Yeah.
so you definitely will notice a difference between normal and hard. So if you do want a bit of a challenge, it's not so hard that you're going to be like, I never want to pick up this game again or anything like that. But it's enough to be like, okay, I do need to think about how I approach some things. Yeah. Sounds like Mass Effect companions. Yes, there is a bit of that. Yeah. I just want to play Avowed, guys. We're not even going to talk about the
So
PlayStation State of Play. I'm kidding. We're
yeah,
just
I
going
know, I know,
straight
I
to
know, I
Avowed.
know,
No,
I
I'm
know.
kidding.
So okay, I know this is so hard. So before you go to the first main hub and you have your encounter,
Mm.
um, I was like, "Yo, I'm tired of this shenanigans. What's happening here?" I'm like, Kai. No, it wasn't Kai. It was Garrick. No, not Garrick. Gosh, what's the little dude with the ears? That little guy
Oh, I can't
in the
remember his
beginning.
name. But yeah, the
In the
guy who you've
beginning,
seen in
right,
the
right, right,
beginning.
right, right, right. Yeah, 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 yeah. So when you got your first kind of boss, right? And
Yeah.
I for whatever reason he just kept getting the best of me. I would have him kind of down toward the end. I would, and I don't know how that played out for you because you may have done something in your situation with the key and where a choice that you make. So a choice I made, I was like, I'm not messing with you because I don't trust you, right? And next thing you know, I'm talking to my man. And it's like, yeah. So you shouldn't have left me back there, right? And I'm like, okay. So then, things pop off. And I'm like, okay, so now I know I gotta deal with you first. So so I don't
I must have
I,
had a different thing. Like the way yours played out sounds very different to the way I played mine.
okay, it's
Opening
yeah, see,
sequence.
so I can tell because you're looking like, oh,
I'm like,
really?
what are these choice? Like, what? What's going on?
So
Yeah.
so
Well,
so
there you go.
so
It's
it wasn't.
completely your choices matter apparently because him and I have had a very different playthrough from the very beginning.
No, because okay, so right when I'm getting ready to, have this, me and my man, we gotta have, looks like we about to have a difficult conversation, right? And so he just ain't gonna let me pass, He's pulling his Gandalf, you shall not pass. I'm like, damn, okay, so we gotta squabble. So
Mm.
so next thing you know, like I say, somebody pops up and I'm like, yo, two against one. What's the deal?
Well, you
So
had 2 against 1. Damn it. I.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and I guess
Yeah.
it's because I made a
Well, I
decision to be
guess it
like,
wasn't. I guess you were playing on normal, so you needed it to feel like it was hard. I'm kidding.
I guess so, right, right, right.
Your
So I
decisions,
guess
damn! I didn't even realize how different the decisions
right.
could be from the
So I'm
get
thinking
go. That's
that's why,
insane.
like, when that person popped up, I was like, really? This is what we doing? I guess I did say I'm just gonna leave you, but okay, cool.
No, I
So
took them with me.
no, see, I didn't.
Oh, there you go. Like listening to the fact, like from the very that's insane.
Okay, so
Wow. I really
anyway.
need to like I'm looking forward to doing another playthrough of this game.
Okay,
Clearly,
so
I'm
so
like I
I'm
said, I want
sitting
the
over
world to
here.
burn on my next playthrough.
So at the time, I was really just rocking with my little bow, right? I had found a bow. So I was like, yo, I'm tired of this bullshit, right? And so then I saw that, oh, this little area, we got a little swim area. So I'm really running for my life, right? And I jump in, I go, I circle that. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I can get, oh, okay. You know what? I'm about to cheese that ass. That's what I'm about to do because
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
because because these hands ain't hands in right now. So I got up there and I'm just literally like, yap, 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 yap. Game over. You know what I mean?
Done.
So I love the variety that you can go about fighting these bosses. And so now I'm looking environmentally. How can
Mm.
I get the best of these
Well, I mean,
challenges, these bosses, and things of that
the
nature?
storytelling in the first island, when as you're opening your prologue, your opening sequence to the main game, I thought was really well done. And like even the
Right.
very first see
Yeah, me
clip
too.
that leads into the game, and so you understand what the sickness is, and you're like, oh shit, that's real fucked up. Um,
Yeah, that was
I
pretty
am
dope.
and yeah, I don't wanna say anything because I don't want anyone like, I don't
But
wanna
it looked
spoil
great,
that
didn't
little
it?
it looked good, and I was like, "Oh, yeah," and I was like, "I'm so here for this, like,
Oh my
you're gonna open up
gosh.
the game like this for me?"
Yeah,
And I was like,
yeah,
"Sweet." So, I mean, I
yeah,
don't know what I'm
yeah.
gonna finish on at the end of this game, my first playthrough, because I really wanna see how the story progresses and the choices progress, because I was talking to one of the guys last
Mm,
night and they were asking me what I did on a decision, and I was like, "I did this," and they were like, "I did this completely different." And so we were just talking about that, but I didn't realize it was even from the very beginning. So I feel like there's a lot of branching off around everything. Like one of the decisions I made right at the very beginning of the game really helped me later on to kind of
okay.
close off that first map, and I was like, "Yes, done."
Mm.
But I will say heed the map, the journal where it tells you how difficult things are. Like the more skulls something have, the more difficult it is based on your equipment.
Oh,
Do not
yo.
go in underleveled, or overly underleveled. You will regret it.
Yeah, I because I hit a section. It's like the difficulty spike. It jumped real quick, and it was like, "Yo, where these two skulls come from?" And it was just. And let me tell you, everybody is accurate as
As fuck. You have
it's
to dodge. You
ridiculous.
gotta
You got it,
dodge.
and you got to get your timing together. It's kind of like for those who who have played. baseball. And soon as you basically see the picture here, you got to be almost raising because it's coming. Soon as they get ready to throw a spike or
You need to
whatever,
press that button.
it's on you.
Done.
It's on you. You might as well, you gotta move because otherwise you're getting hit and you're seeing blood spatter
Yeah,
and yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh
Nero,
gosh,
you're in the
man, we could talk
you're in
about
the
this the whole
yeah,
time.
we could. Nero, you're in the chat. You're saying there are some difficulty spikes here and there, but it's manageable. Yes, I even on hard, there are bits where I'm like, I feel like this could have been harder, so I might play my next playthrough on very hard. I've been playing evil, but I love my companions, so I value their input. Yeah, I think the way you can engage with your companions around some of the conversation beats around how you respond to them and other people in the world, you definitely notice the flow on effect. You know the games like Before the Storm or Stranger. What is it? Why can't I think of what it's called? Like Don't Nod does all those games. What are they called?
I'm sorry.
Oh, True Colors. Is it True Colors? No. I can't think of what they're called. Strange. Life is strange. Life is strange. You know the series, like those things where they're like, you make a
Life is
decision
strange.
or you play the Telltale games, like The Walking Dead and that, and they're like, this person will remember this, and like you don't see that, but you definitely feel it around how they engage with you. And I really think they've done a fantastic job of feeling like it's a lived in, like you are role playing as your character. It's a good game. It's not a mind blowing game around like what you would expect. Um, I think it's a really, really good game, and as an RPG, they've done a really good job with it. And I'm like, give me DLC. I'm gonna be excited for some DLC. Um,
Yeah. I didn't have any expectations going in, and I think that's why I am absolutely loving it. Like zero expectations. Hey, they said third
well,
person. I'm like, okay, great,
I
and
love the
that's it.
Outer Worlds, so I went in going, I love the Outer Worlds. I've loved other Obsidian games. So I'm gonna go in there with an open mind to what they're giving, what experience then they're wanting you to have, because I trust in their storytelling and I trust in their ability to deliver a game that gamers like. Yeah. Yes,
Mm,
Life is Strange. Yeah, yeah. I got there in the end, but it took me
yeah,
ages.
and
All right,
yeah,
we're gonna
I feel
we're
like
gonna
they're doing it now. So yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, definitely such a fun game. Okay, well, we're gonna move
yeah,
over to, if it likes me, the state of play conversation. Um, all right, okay. I'm gonna throw to you, Soul. What was your initial thoughts on state of play? I'm just gonna try and change scene and see if it likes me for this. So
you know what? If I am perfectly honest about it, um, I watched it live. It's almost like a tale of two cities, right? If you look
my
for what
system hates me.
you look at it for what it wasn't bad. But if you look at it,
Mm,
expectation is to have a bunch of Sony
give me a second. Yeah.
first party games.
Soul disappeared on me. Why? I'm trying to get this to work and it doesn't really want to like me. Every time. There should be no issue running this, no issue, but it decides is going to be a massive issue. Okay. When Soul gets back, I'm going to ask the chat. What is your thoughts on what you thought? Like, what is your rating? Whether you want to go from 1 to 10, whether you want to do A to F, what was your rating for the state of play? And yeah. And was there any game that really stood out for you that you are really hyped for following this? While I'm just asking the chat that, I'll let you continue, Soul. I don't know what happened. You kind of dropped out on me.
Yeah, the video was going, and all of a sudden, well, it started, and then it just everything stopped, and I was still moving. Okay. What I was saying is because apparently my sound went out as well. What I was saying was, if you look at it, you can look at it in two ways,
Yes, you can.
right? And so I looked at it like as just as gamer, no bias. I mean, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
You look at it for a Sony show.
6.57. Yeah.
I look if I'm being honest, and I look at it as like a Sony show with the expectation of seeing a lot of Sony first party games or a lot of Sony published games, that wasn't there. And so I would go from a B to I would actually probably go down to a D. I saw some games that I liked though. I did see some games that I liked,
Mm.
but knowing that they're going to be on Xbox as well. So I said to myself, is if I was in the market to buy another console, would anything make me want to pick up this console? And I can't say that there was something there that would make me want to pick up a PlayStation console. To be honest, any console.
Yeah.
If I'm being 100% transparent, there was nothing that made me say, "Oh man, yeah, I would pick up a console for that." Right. So there were some things that I definitely liked, and I know we'll get into it with talking about some of these titles, but for the most part, I would probably say a B, just on just the gaming level. I heard someone say, I don't know if it was today, on a podcast or whatnot. You strip away the Sony off the title,
Yep.
and you're like, you know what? Not bad. You put Sony on the title, and you have to. You're like, not good. You
Yeah.
know, and so that's where I am with that for the most part.
I'm in
There were some things
agreement with
that
you. Yeah.
stood out. Yeah, there were some things that stood out that made me say, "Hey, you know what? They come over to Xbox. I will think about it." But I can't say that there was anything that just makes me want to jump in. I'm not a
Mm.
big hack and slash
Yeah.
guy.
Well,
And
this
there
is
were a couple
Shinobi
of
up
them
on
that were
screen at the
hack and
moment. Yeah.
slashed. Yeah. Now Shinobi did look dope.
The art style.
I thought
Yeah.
that was
This
pretty
looks good.
good. The art style off top was fire. I think the one that caught my attention the most was the one with Lashana
Shadowheart.
Lynch, Captain Marvel. It was like a space sci-fi joint. I think maybe it was by Supermassive.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. Wait. What was
That,
the?
it looked really good, and it piqued my interest. Um, but that was the one. Is
Was that
that
the directive
the
80/20 from her friend from yeah, and she was in
yeah?
yeah.
I think so. I think that was it. That was the one for me where I was like, okay,
Yeah,
I
we'd
I
seen
I,
that,
I
and
like
now we got
this.
to see more of it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the one that did it for me. Everything else was, Mind's Eye. That one is interesting.
Mm.
Tides. I know a lot of people are like tides. Well, you know what? The tide is high, but I won't be holding on. How about that? For those, so I'm, say
Literally
it,
now that song is
it,
playing in my
it,
head.
it is not going to be my number one. You feel me?
Yeah. I feel you. Oh, I love it. I love it.
So Split Fiction. Oh yeah, that is,
That stood out for you.
that stood out. I mean, I think everybody, when we saw that a couple months back, we were like,
I
yeah,
agree.
they probably have another hit on their hands. Shinobi looks solid. Saros looks like the same thing that they already put out with Returnal. Well, it didn't look like, because they didn't really show us, so it's
It was a
a big
CGI
assumption.
trailer.
I shouldn't assume. Yeah, but it's Bullet Hell probably. So,
Yeah.
what about you? What stood out to you? What did you think about it? If you gave it a grade or a point value, where would it fall?
Okay. Pulling up my sleeves. No, I'm kidding. All right. I'll be real honest. I also kind of went in this with two mindsets. I looked at this knowing that this was going to be a multi-plat show, and I did think that potentially we might see might get an Indiana Jones announcement. I think Xbox will do their own Indiana Jones announcement for when that's delivering this first half of the year, because I don't think PlayStation wants to put any Xbox advertising on their show. I looked at this, going, there'll be some mostly third party. We might get some first party from PlayStation. I was expecting more. If I took away PlayStation and the word state of play out of this direct, it wasn't a bad show. There were plenty of games that a lot of gamers would be interested in. There were a couple of games
Well,
that
like,
I
yeah.
liked. And so I would give it a 6.57. It's nothing outstanding. There are quite a few announcements we'd already seen. It was nice to get some release dates on games that were coming out later this year. And I think we're going to see more about from some of those games anyway through the bigger showcases mid-year. If I then re-put back in PlayStation State of Play, we're real fucking harsh on this show. I can tear it a new one, mate. I would give it a 2 out of 10. I am so freaking sick of PlayStation State of Plays not delivering for their consumer base. I'm just over it. Every single State of Play over the last 2 years has been subpar in comparison to the showcases that Sony used to deliver, that greatness awaits, etc., etc. What Sony is, their soul, their identity. This is not the Sony we know and love. This is not Sony that is competing. This feels like, and I'm gonna some shade, like this made me feel like, and I assume this is exactly how the PlayStation community felt when they used to see our Xbox showcases about 6, 7 years ago, where Phil Spencer would be like, we've got all these games, we've got like 30, 40 games in this hour that we're going to be showing you, or hour and a half that we're going to be showing you. But it was a lot of like second party, third party, not a lot of first party, because they didn't have first party. And so the community on that side would be like, well, this has not given me any reason to step away from PlayStation and pick up an Xbox or play an Xbox game. This showcase gives me no fucking reason to buy a PlayStation. There is a very lack of a roadmap in that respect around their first party. We know a handful of first party coming. You are coasting on your laurels at this point because you don't have anything else to fucking show. You've wasted so much money on live service, then cancelled all of them. We fucking got Days Gone re-fucking mastered. Let that sink in. Yoshida said after he left, if you want a sequel to these games, buy a remaster. Why would you want to buy a bloody remaster that you've already freaking played again when they're not adding enough content? The game, we didn't see enough of it to warrant what the remaster equivalent is to show why it's remastered. Yes, there's new game modes, but like visually speaking, Days Gone was a very visually impressive game. Yes, it had some bugs and some other things, but you cancelled the ability to deliver a Days Gone 2, and you made them do a live service game that you've since fucking cancelled. You've then laid off some of that fucking studio, not the whole studio team. Why did you waste the money instead of delivering on a sequel to that game? It must have done well enough for you to go, let's remaster it, but you're not willing to double down and invest in a sequel?
In a sequel. Yeah. Yeah.
The fact that Housemarque is doing a new game and their
Mm-hmm.
game didn't make as much in sales as Days Gone did, but you said no
Mm-hmm.
on a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they might have not had the right best pitch, but they could have iteratively improved on it.
Right.
I'm so disappointed in the management there, and I'm glad that they've been losing people and things have been changing in that space, because I want a reason to pick up a PlayStation. I don't have a reason. I have a reason to play their games on PC, but like, for anyone who is a fan of them and what they've done in the past, this showcase was a disappointment. Absolutely through and through, if you are there for the exclusives. What exclusives were there? There were lots of day and date announcements for PC, as well as coming to PlayStation. And people are trying to say that why would they be stepping away from the consoles when they're getting 75 million consoles shipped? They're not stepping away from console. They're not stepping away from console. They're diversifying their market and making more money on PC. But this was such a frustrating showcase to watch if you're a PlayStation fan or if you're someone who's intrigued by what the competition is doing and just loves gaming in general. I love games. I love new worlds, new stories, and I always look forward to watching their showcases. For the last 2 years, I have not looked forward to watching any of their showcases. I have been waiting with bated breath to get them to show me something that is exciting. Yes, we got that Galactica game announcement last year, but that wasn't even at their own fucking showcase. That was at the Game of the Year Awards. I don't know. I was super disappointed. And you can obviously tell I'm super disappointed and heated and like emotionally charged. Like, there
Oh
are
yeah.
plenty of games that third party in there, games that have come to Xbox, things that I'm excited for. But if I want to pick up a PlayStation, I'm just going to play it on PC. It just
You
feels
know what,
soulless.
Panda?
This isn't
And
the PlayStation that we know and love.
yeah, and truth be told, for me, because I don't play on PC, and I know I'll get there, and I can't say that it's going to end up being a primary. I'm just, the console is ingrained, but I've always, for the most part, always had all consoles. This is probably the first generation that I haven't had all three. Well, I did, but I don't anymore, right? And there's nothing that is pulling me back in. You know, it's like unlike Michael Corleone, I want to be pulled back in, right? As a gamer, I want to be pulled back in, but there's nothing that's pulling me back in on the other side. And I think there's, watching the chat here, I think you could really say that a lot of folks are getting to the point now, and I think these Sony and Xbox, especially Xbox, I think they just realize, because of where they are in the market, that folks who are buying an Xbox, they've bought the Xbox. They are looking at other ways to get people into the ecosystem. I think the handheld or supposed handheld would be, or is going to be, probably a great entry point,
Hmm.
and it's probably going to come before the actual box. Um, Diehards will pick up every damn thing. We do it on both sides, right? And so
Yeah.
I
I
I
mean,
just
yeah.
haven't seen anything that makes me say, I want to run out and go pick up this box because this feels and looks like the Sony that we've come to know, to make me say, hey, let me go and spend this bread on this console. And I just don't
Yes.
see it.
I don't see
Everything
it
pretty
either.
much kind of going to PC now. It's going to get to the point where folks are going to say, you know what? I might just I might wait and go to PC on this,
My
or
preference is console gaming. That's my
as the
preference.
options to play in different places are there. These handhelds coming about, the ROGs and the Steam Decks and all that, make it very appealing to say, you know what? Yeah, I'm still spending that money, but I kind of have my little PC deal right here in my handheld. So maybe I don't go spend the money to get this console where I'm still tied to the console, as opposed to now I can go with this handheld that opens it up in other places that the console just won't. I
Yeah.
know that's what I'm starting to think. Like, you know what? Maybe I don't know when I'm going to do this PC thing, but maybe I do the handheld PC. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I don't know. I just need for them, like you say, they need to get the shit together. Um,
This feels like
I don't
Xbox
see
was
how
when they
people
didn't
can,
have a roadmap
be.
because they didn't have first party. They didn't have
Yeah,
a regular first party cadence,
it's
right? Definitely feels like a shoes on the other foot.
it, yeah, yeah, and I don't know. We'll see. They need to get the shit together.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
some people have some great points in the chat. By the way, thank you to the chat.
yeah, I see some things.
What I'm just going to add to the people talking about Xbox fans won't buy a PlayStation regardless if it showed games. Lol. Uh, I think toxic Xbox gamers won't. The people who aren't real gamers, who literally have their identity as a plastic box, and their ego and their personality wrapped up within there. But there are a lot of Xbox gamers who own a PlayStation as well as an Xbox, as well as a PC, as well as a Nintendo, because of
Nintendo.
how the exclusive is how exclusives work. But there are, if you look the other way, that is not the same cadence going the other
It
way,
ain't
where
the same.
PlayStation gamers are not buying anything else. There are plenty of Xbox gamers who will own more a PlayStation. So, and though I do agree that the cadence isn't where you would expect it to be, but there are more Xbox gamers who own a PlayStation. There are PlayStation gamers who own an Xbox. Fact.
Hmm. Yeah, and I agree with that. So, Laura Roughness, the console sales. You got to remember, man. It's the popular box. It is where people want to be just because the friends are there. It's kind of like the Apple Android thing for some people. Some people won't pick up a Galaxy this or a Google that or whatever it is because it's like it ain't Apple. Like some people won't wear anything outside of Nikes because they feel like anything outside of that is less than. And so it's just like for those who are tequila drinkers, right? Well, Patron has a big name behind it. People pick up Patron. I don't buy that shit anymore. It's popular. Don Julio became the new Patron. I don't even buy Don Julio anymore. So this is just one of those things where it's very popular. They do have good stuff over there, but it's very popular, and people it becomes ingrained. It's part of the culture now. When people, I remember, I'm old enough to remember when people called everything a Nintendo. Now everything is just a PlayStation. It plays games, and that's like the default. So there's a lot of consoles that are going to be purchased out there, and it makes it really, really easy. But hopefully, like I say, they get the shit together, and start putting out some good software. Fans of the console and that ecosystem deserve some good stuff coming out right now. It does for me when I look at how I purchase games and the games that I like to play. There's nothing that is compelling me to go over or to find some change in the couch and go pick that thing up. I would probably pick up a handheld before I pick that up.
Mm.
And that's not a console warrior thing. It's I'm looking at it like, you know what? Okay, well, I can still pick up and play these games over here by picking up this, and now I have access to some other things as well. So it just benefits me as a consumer to pick that up. But I like having the consoles, but I can't say that I'm just dying to go back. So hopefully we'll see. But as long as people keep, picking those things up, hey, they're going to keep the same business model until they just can't.
Yeah. Dutch, to your point around GTA 6 could be an exclusive on Xbox or PlayStation. They're not going to do that, but I kind of get what you're saying. Fanboys will still refuse to buy the console. Yeah, fanboys, but not actual gamers. PC, some PC gamers are going to pick it up on console if they already own a console, but majority of them will probably wait till actual releases on PC. PC gaming is part of the way, but I think handhelds is where it's at for now. The ability to game where you want, so that's why I think the Switch has done such a fantastic job. But I'm going to actually just talk about some of the games from the show anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That octopus game, and I can't think what it was called, but that actually looked real fire. Darwin Paradox. There we go. Darwin's Paradox. I excited. Looks really cute. Looks like a fun little game that I really want to play. Split Fiction. You talked about that. I
Mm-hmm.
remember the discourse that came out around that game when you had two female protagonists in there, and people were complaining about the fact that there were two female protagonists and you didn't get a choice. You just had to play them. But my conversation around that bit was like he named the two characters after his two daughters. So
His daughters. How
like
cool is that?
how cool is that? Like you can't ignore the fact that there's a lot of love that's gone into that game, and he's so proud of it. He's put their names attached to it. But Split Fiction, if you enjoyed A Way Out, if you enjoyed It Takes Two, you're going to enjoy Split Fiction. The co-op experience, the split screen experience on that. Any chance that I get to see more about that game, I'm excited for, and I'm glad it was here at the showcase as a reminder that this
Mm-hmm.
game is coming out soon, and to pick it up. The Shinobi game looked really, really good. I did like Borderlands 4 is they do the cell shading. It's looking beautiful. That game looks
Yeah.
fantastic. It's coming out everywhere. And so it was just another reason to see a game that we're excited for, knowing that we get to play it on the platform that we choose to our preference to play it on. Yeah, so I think
Mm-hmm.
overall, this showcase was a good showcase for gamers, but if you're a PlayStation gamer, it was not a good showcase. Think
That part.
Housemarque with their Bulletstorm style of gameplay. I know it was just a CGI trailer, an announcement to say this game is coming out in 2026. But I'm intrigued because I think Returnal, for what it was a really cool concept of a game, and they delivered on it well. Yes, it was had some improvements and some quality of life things that came to it later on, but it's a game that deserves a chance to have like evolve, and I think the developers will have iteratively improved and taken a look at the feedback and what they learned from that original game, and then are putting it into this new game. So I think that game, if you're a fan of Returnal, if you're a fan of Bulletstorm games, you will most likely be a fan of whatever they end up delivering on that. I also think that that's probably going to go to PC Day One.
Returnal, it would have done so much better had it been on PC Day One, but also that should have been one of those games they should have said, you know what? I know this is not what we normally do. This is not what we normally do, but damn it, let's put this game over on Xbox as well
Yeah.
because it would have done well. Because people we like shooters. We like to shoot shit over here. We
Mm.
like to shoot stuff, and I think it would have done well. I do think it would have done well. I still think it would actually do well. I still think it would do well. And I low key, I'm like, it needs to come on over here. You know, got to come in for the low price of 25 to $30 though. You can't come in here with that $40 to $50 shit. Nah, come in at a good price point. That thing will jump off the shelves. People will give it a good shot, man. Give it a good try. I would love to see it. So
I'm just replying to Greg K put something in the chat asking if Retro was ever
oh no.
coming back. So I was just replying, but I can just say it now. We would like him to come back, but with what's happening within his life and all the stuff in his world, he can't actually come back right now. So the door's always open. We miss him every
Life is
single
lifing.
show. Yeah. And so I mean that like in the future, if he can, I'm like, please, because we spent so much time working on it together, the show, getting everything together. But yeah, sadly, he can't. He had to leave his other show that he was on. He hasn't been doing any podcasting. You might see him on the community game nights chat or online. Catch up with him if you can. Send your love and just remind him how much you miss him because, like, yeah, we miss him a lot.
Oh yeah.
I don't have much more to say other than go watch the individual trailers for the show. If there's anything that you're interested in, definitely follow up on it. I think we're going to get a lot more. Like from my understanding, there's going to be some individual state of plays around specific games and giving them a dedicated show to highlight them. Because I was shocked that we didn't see anything on Marathon. There was a game, and I'm trying to remember the name of it, that I actually thought looked like
It was
Marathon.
Marathon.
And I
Yeah.
was like, wait, is this Marathon? And I was like, looks okay. What was it called? I'm just going to go through the list.
Yeah, I think hold on, do I still have it up for the topics?
No, not. I was. Where did it show? Hellavast.
Abdel, what's the deal?
Days Gone.
Thank you and everyone else for dropping in for this
It was
conversation.
no, was it Abiotic Factor? No, was it Metal? Was it Metal Eden? Yeah, it was
Yes.
Metal Eden. Yeah, and I was like, wait, is that because of the way the logo was for the Metal Eden? I was like, that looks very similar to a Bungie
Yeah.
logo, just redesigned for this video game.
Yeah, it
So
was that game.
Metal Eden. Mind's Eye looked quite cool. It looked like a mix of Cyberpunk and GTA, and I think one of the
GTA.
developers who are working on that game is a ex GTA developer. Tides of Annihilation. If you're a BG3 fan, then you would have instantly recognized the voice of Shadowheart. And so that game looked fantastic. Two of the games like shown here were also going to be releasing on Game Pass day one. So, two of the indie games shown. Dreams of Another also made me think of Dreams, the actual video game where you got to make your own sort of the way it was the art style. I was like, this reminds me of that Dreams game. I think it's cool that there's Lies of P DLC coming as a prequel story to Lies of P. And if you haven't played Lies of P and you are a Dark Souls fan around that sort of thing, you will definitely enjoy it. There's lots of games that showed up here, and I think as a gamer you would have enjoyed the showcase, but demand better of PlayStation. I think they're getting things in alignment. It's going to take a while to recover from the live service heavy focus that they've kind of had as a company, and just riding that there because of all the cancellations that have come out. Yeah.
Hey, Panda, you know what? Excuse me. I'm over here thinking about, I'm listening to you, but I'm also thinking about how in the world Does IGN give Avowed a
Vowed a
7,
fucking
and they
7.
gave Concord the same fucking
The
score?
score. Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. That's a great point. Different reviewers, right? Starfield got a 7. Starfield had more gameplay and more life to it than all of Concord combined. Avowed? Whew. Some of the criticisms, though, when you look at some of the review stuff, and I'll be, yeah, it was just interesting reading some of the reviews. I think if you're a gamer, do take and you like similar games to people like what was it? One of my mates was like, "You play a lot of RPGs. I always trust you on your RPG choices. What are you thinking of Avowed?" And I was like, "This is what I'm thinking." And they're like, "Okay, I'm gonna pick it up."
Yeah.
They are like, "I agree with you, Panda, on what you were saying." So sometimes, like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the amount of people like the amount of reviews they do. I feel like. Uh, I just they just seem disengaged as gamers when it comes to some of the reviews and some of the criticisms. Um, yeah, I'm just like, I don't think we're playing the same game
Mm,
or we're having the same experience
can't be.
around what you expect, or you've got these ridiculous expectations. And I think people need to stop going into video games with these ridiculous expectations and just
That part
go in
too.
and go, what I'm gonna let the game show me what it's like and experience it the way they're wanting me to
Right.
experience, and
Right.
then I'm gonna make an informed decision as to whether or not I think it's a good game and does it stand on its own merits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the thing that bothers me the most about not so much that 7 but it's just really any score. I guess I've just never ever relied on any of that for me to pick up a game, because if it catches my interest, I'm getting it anyway. I'm going to figure
Mm,
out how to experience the game. So I've never been one for people to chew my food and then tell me how it tastes. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And so
Yes.
when I yeah, but then you see things. So some people, I don't understand how they do that, and some people do. They live and die by these things, or just what people say. And I'm like, dude, experience the game for yourself. If you want to buy the game and you think it looks dope, buy the game.
That's the benefit of Game
If
Pass as well. Try
if
to try before
yeah,
you buy.
if it turns out to be a dud, everyone, you, me, everyone in this chat has spent 50 or 60 or $70, and you were like, eh, everyone has experienced that. And if you haven't, God bless you. You
That's what
are
I liked about physical
lucky.
copies of games, because I'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I've got 7 days to return it and get for my full money back."
Man,
Done.
say yeah, you know what I mean? And so I've never been one for someone to tell me about that. And when people ask me about a game, I say I loved it. This is what I loved about it. I don't say, man, I think you would like it. I say, hey, this is what I loved about it. But at the end of the day, now hey, go to YouTube, look up some gameplay, see if it tickles your fancy, and if it does, pick it up. If it
Yeah.
doesn't,
Well,
don't pick it up. Don't
I
spend your
had
money.
I had no intention of playing It Takes Two. I'll be real honest. No intention. I looked at it and I was like, not really my game. But I listened to RDX when RDX was here, and like Dealer consistently talking about how fantastic this game is. Um, and I finally pulled the trigger and I understood exactly why. But I was like, I listened to people that I respected as gamers who were just going to tell me whether something was buggy or something they didn't like in the game, and they were just going to be real
Mm-hmm.
honest about it. Um, and then I went and pulled the trigger. It was a good game. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It ended up getting Game of the Year of all things. So like that, sometimes Game of the Year does help by telling people that yes, there's enough people who have thoroughly enjoyed this game. You need to experience it as well. So I'm hoping that for Astrobot, the Game of the Year awards that they have received are gonna immediately transfer into sales for that game, because those family friendly, those platformer games, there is a market for it and people do enjoy those games.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, hey, we'll see. But like you said, there's a lot of good points here made today. Sony needs to get on the shit and give the people what they want. They're doing
Yeah.
less of that here lately, and
Hmm.
it's I can only imagine what real gamers who primarily game on PlayStation, like you said, what they used to sit back and watch and witness and say, man, it's like they don't really have some stuff over there. They had 360 era was really, really dope. And what the hell are they doing? And I'm sure, of course, you have those who are just going to kind of console war with stuff like that. But now we're sitting here like, come on, man, PlayStation, you got to do better. You got to be dropping some stuff over there, man. There's so many IPs that they're sitting on that they're not even trying to put out. I mean, all the ones that we heard about that were in production that got canceled. I mean, like the meme, where is factions? Factions would have done whatever state factions was in. I guarantee it would have done okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
Because
I think
people
it would
were
have done
waiting
fine.
for it. People
Yeah.
were waiting for it.
People
And,
were. They were wanting to invest
yeah,
and support it and play it because 100%. Um
yeah,
yeah.
that Spider-Man multiplayer game, it would have been man, it would have been fine, especially if they would have given you a lot of those characters that people do know, and then characters that people um, learned about from the last Across the Spider Verse movie or whatever the hell it was called when they had Spider Punk and all these other, if they had options where they could have done all of that, that would have been dope.
Yeah, and I
But
know like live service games, you have to be dedicated and delivering a
yeah,
lot of content on a regular basis to keep up
yeah,
with demand. And so like I understand where Neil Druckmann came from, why they didn't want to go down that road. If they wanted to deliver any other first like single player story driven games. Um,
right.
but I mean, they'd already kind of built this thing. They could have
Hmm.
delivered on it. Yeah, it's an
Oh,
interesting conversation.
it is.
Mm,
Hey, this game that's on the screen,
this is that
this
Annihilation game.
this
Tides of
did this is
Annihilation.
the tides. I know earlier I said it just didn't do a whole lot for me because it's a lot of hack and slash. But I will say they got some dope ass concepts in here. And
Yeah.
one of the concepts that I did like, I'm not gonna lie, is that you get to use the Knights of the Round Table like in your move set. So it's like when you're doing, I don't know, you're pulling off combos, you have these different knights that come out and they do different things, in the combo. And after I learned that and I went back and I watched it again, I said, yeah, you know what, that's a pretty damn dope concept to have the Knights of
Mm,
the Round, yeah, table. So, the
yeah.
lore aspect of that, um, it could be really, really dope. Is this the game that we thought was fair games or whatever?
This is what I thought might have been Marathon, but then the further I looked into it,
Marathon, sorry.
I was like,
Marathon.
maybe not. But it kind of does feel like it was gonna be Marathon. When I initially saw this trailer, I was like, this looks like Marathon. But yeah, I was kind of sad we didn't get anything from Wolverine. In here, we didn't get anything about Fair Games. Maybe they're probably going to do a separate showcase for some of those games, indeed. But like, even if it is just a quick CGI trailer and then go, we're going to show you more about this later in the year, breadcrumbs mean everything to a gamer.
Oh, they do.
We
Yeah.
want to have the anticipation of knowing more things are coming. And it's always hard sitting there going, I know they're working on stuff. I don't know what they're working. Like for the longest time, I was like, what is Compulsion's Games doing? And then they finally announced South of Midnight. I was like, finally, I've been asking about Compulsion Games forever. I'm feeling a bit like that with Double Fine. When are we going to hear the next thing that Double Fine is working on? Because they've been quiet for quite a while. Yeah. So we just want to know what the roadmap is, what we should be anticipating to kind of look out for from a gamer's perspective. Whether or not you play on that platform is a different conversation, because you never know how a game that releases is going to inspire another developer to make a game on their platform or in their studio and those sort of things. So, but what I will say is that all of us here are very established gamers. We have been gaming for a very long time. So we are looking for new experiences we haven't had before. We're looking for new stories we haven't had before, because we've played a lot of things. You can generally figure out a trope or a storyline on what things are, what is happening in a game, because you've already experienced it in the past. Whereas the younger generation, they haven't played a lot of the games that we have played. So every time they play a game that feels like a new experience to them, they will have a very different reaction to us. So, yeah. I don't know. Some days I feel like a jaded gamer where I'm like, ugh, it's just not feeling it. But other times I'm like, yeah. Because I've been gaming since I was very young.
Oh well, okay, yeah. Yeah. Started gaming. I'm
I
laughing.
assume we would see the next Double Fine soon, yeah.
Yeah. I've been gaming since the 70s, baby. The 70s. Been gaming for a long time. So yeah, and it never gets old. I absolutely love the medium, and
Mm,
so I hope that this new evolution of gaming can thrive, because I would hate to see something that I really enjoy doing. Um, you know,
yeah.
I hate to see it going through what it's going through. And I love like what we see on the screen. I love the variety of games. Um, I love to look at. I like to play like something like this, but I like to watch something like a Final Fantasy. I am an odd gamer. Like some things I love to watch. Don't need to experience it like, control in hand. But I just like gaming.
Yeah.
You're talking about somebody who I refuse to pick up a sports game at this
Oh,
point,
yeah, I have no
right?
interest in sports games. No.
No interest, but I could sit there and watch someone play. And it would be dope. I'm sitting over here like, like, okay, you should run this play, run this. Okay, we got the option here. This is the defense that they're sitting in or whatever. It's like I'm playing the game, but I just don't. They don't do it for me anymore. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it goes. There you go, roughness. Arcades, baby. Hey, did you ever have like Aladdin's Castle roughness? That was my joint. We had them at all the malls back at home in Indiana. Aladdin's Castle was a big arcade uh, um, manufacturer, or whatever you want to say, outlet back in the day. So been gaming for a long time. Commodore 64, you name it. I've had a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
64 was
You've
one
been
of
gaming a
my
lot longer
favorite.
than me, yeah. I mean, I was lucky. My brother was older than me. So he's 7 years
Yeah,
older than me. And my parents bought video game consoles for him. And we would, when we were too young to play them,
yeah.
we would just watch him play them. And I just loved
Mm.
watching it. And to the point where, like, when I was old enough to start playing them, I was playing them. And I've been addicted ever since. But, like, I grew up on the NES. And then we had a 64. We
Okay.
also had a Packard Bell PC desktop when Packard Bell was not HP. um, and
Mm.
I just thoroughly enjoyed it. And then my brother got a GameCube. I was heavily like I played RTSs on PC, and then I played Nintendo. I played a little bit of PlayStation when my brother's friends would bring their PlayStation over, and then I got introduced to the Xbox, and I've kind of just been a Nintendo, Xbox, PC gamer ever since. PlayStation has just never. I don't know what it is. It's never connected with me as a gamer. Like some of the games are,
Yeah.
but like the ecosystem, the controller, I don't know. It just hasn't connected with me. And maybe it's because I didn't play those games enough growing up. Like there are some games that definitely pique my interest, and we'll play them through Steam. But yeah, I'm not really interested in picking up a PlayStation console specifically, even though console is my preferred way of playing video games.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't
Hey,
know.
I know I'm
Maybe
showing
it's the
got
anti-consumer
these
stuff
oldies.
practices that
It
they've
could
been
be.
doing the last couple of gens.
So check it out. I was just showing the Killer Instinct on the Super Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
And that was my Super Nintendo was the first console that I purchased. Yes, that was the first one that I actually purchased. And then this was the 64 version. And the crazy thing is, this is the card that came with all the moves for Killer Instinct, right? On the 64. And I still have it, but I don't have the game or the system anymore. I don't know. I was like, I'm not gonna play the 64 anymore because I was literally keeping it for Killer Instinct and GoldenEye. And I sold it. And let me tell y'all, I sold the 64 with my Dreamcast. Why I sold my 64 with my Dream, or why I sold it anyway, I have no idea. I got my NES from childhood. It still got food and shit still on it. It's right here, and I think Double Dribble is in there right now. I'm pretty sure Double Dribble is actually. Hold on, look, make sure I got some clothes on.
What am I trying to think? What did we play? I remember playing Peter Pan on the NES. We had both Zelda games
Double Dribble.
and Double Dragon and
Oh,
Battletoads.
did you have the golden
No,
Zelda cartridge though?
yes, we did. We had the Golden Zelda cartridges because we had the two Zelda games on the NES. We had the Golden Zelda cartridge for the 64 as well for Ocarina of Time. I can't remember if
Okay.
Majora's Mask had a golden cartridge or not. I'm trying to remember. My brain is dead. But like,
I
smashed the
don't
hell out
remember
of
if it did or not. Yeah.
GoldenEye, man. GoldenEye on the 64. And Diddy
Oh,
Kong Racing. We did not
oh,
have Mario Kart, but we had Diddy Kong Racing.
mm,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm a
Yeah,
Diddy
yeah,
Kong
yeah,
Racing
yeah.
fan.
Hey,
Yeah. All
yeah.
right. The show has it's been a long time, and
Been a long time. Yeah.
I really just want to play Avowed.
You ready to eat and you're ready to get back?
I'm totally ready to
Yeah,
eat,
I
and I'm
am too.
totally ready to play Avowed and pretend like the rest of the world does not exist. Yeah, totally enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's someone in the toilet roughness. That is hilarious. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Little tip, because I'm not gonna lie, I was a killer when it came to GoldenEye, right? But we didn't have all. Well, I guess that was the first controller where you had all kinds of buttons going every damn where, right?
The
That
trigger and the
64 controller.
joystick and
Yeah,
the
yeah. You had the trigger and you got the yeah, right?
such a
And
comfy controller, minus how uncomfortable that joystick was once you started with the ribbing, once you were playing for too
but
long.
right. But I was just thinking about how I used to just run around and just annihilate my friends and family and people when they would come over and we're playing. So when at the thing to GoldenEye, outside of just basically having the cheat code that is odd job, right? Because
No one was allowed to play Odd Job though, right?
you literally would shoot over him, and so he
Yeah,
just murked you,
you
right?
couldn't.
Yeah.
What's the
But
cave
the
system where
thing,
you're running along the bottom and then you had like
the caves was a dope. The caves
because
was
like
dope.
I used to just like run along the bottom, proximity mine the underneath of
Yeah.
the
Right.
structure that everyone's walking along, and then you're running away, and then you just hear an explosion later on, and you're like, gotcha.
Right. So whenever somebody would enter the room, and it's like I was like, man, my people didn't catch on to this. As soon as someone enters the room, the gun naturally goes to them. So all you literally got to do is pull the fucking trigger, kill, and we always play one shot, one kill. One shot, one kill. That was it. We didn't come
Mm.
off of any other mode. So when someone comes into the room, the reticle naturally just moves to them, and all you got to do is just soon as it moves, just pull the trigger. Yeah, that was it. And then when you know the
Have a good
maps, you
night,
know
Abdel.
sooner or later somebody was coming by into the room where you got to go. So
Mm.
hey. But anyway, enough with that. Hey, it's been a great one, guys. Thank you guys for joining us so much. Really enjoyed everyone's conversation in the
Sad we couldn't have
chat.
our pony bot here for the show.
Yeah, our resident pony bot,
Yeah.
he tried though. He tried. He gave the show an 8 out of 10. So he did get a little
He
ponying going on. So
bucked off a
I'm
pony and hurt his back.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad he was able to, grab a feed bag on his way out and
Yeah.
everything. So yeah. It was pretty good. But thank you guys for showing up and showing out. We definitely appreciate you guys and the energy that you bring each and every Saturday. Uh, Prayerfully, we can have a full house next week, and we have
Oh, yes,
something
we have a
special lined up for
special
you guys.
guest. Do we wanna
Yeah.
announce what the special guest is?
Well, yeah. Go ahead, Panda. Let you do that.
So, we've been playing Avowed, right? Um, and if you get a chance to play Avowed, and for those who are gonna play it day one on Game Pass, we have Venus Theory, the composer from the game, actually on the show next week. So it's not going to be a regular show in the sense of console warring and all of that. We might talk about a couple of news items, but it's really going to be a interview style. We've all got questions that we're going to ask Venus Theory. I've been playing around with the settings in Avowed to really like make the music quite prominent so that I can really listen to it. And I really wanted, and I know we all wanted lead in for the game before we had him on the show.
Right, right.
I think based on where you are and the biome you're in, the sound is going to change. But I've been enjoying the music, and so we're going to have them on. We get to ask them some questions and that, but super excited to have the Avowed composer on the show next week with us. So
Yeah.
yeah, Nero's back better be fixed.
Yeah. We fix it. We got to make sure things, these internets are
Yeah,
working. These, it's crazy, but yeah. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a good
yep,
show, a lot of fun. Definitely looking forward to it. And if you haven't listened to the soundtrack, hey, for those who have nice commutes to work, it's nice and relaxing.
yeah,
Pop it in and just let that thing ride. I think you will enjoy it, and not just
yeah,
because I think you will actually enjoy it. I think that is a good soundtrack that everyone's going to enjoy. So the cool thing now is like I'm listening for the music in the game, while I'm playing. So yeah, so
I'm
everybody,
really enjoying
hopefully
the
you
music.
enjoy that.
It's adding to the atmosphere of the game. But yes, join us next week. Super excited, and shout out to Retri. He's been fantastic in the background. But yeah,
Yep.
he's been semi kind of learning from Venus Theory, and so yeah. All right. Well, everyone have a great evening, day, whatever time it is where you are in the wild. We are going to close out the show. Be safe and enjoy Avowed over the next week when it launches on Game Pass. Soul, look after yourself, and Nero better be here for next week's show, Nero. Um. All right. Bye, everybody.
All right. See y'all later.